Welcome to A Mason's Work, the podcast where we review Masonic symbols and illustrate how they can be used to solve problems in everyday life. With your host, Brian Mattox, a proud member of the Craftsman Online Media Network.
I want to take a minute to talk about something that got me tripped up for a very, very long time, most of my life, in fact. And one of the things that we remember when we start talking about the Masonic understanding of time is that in many ways we plan for a tomorrow that will never come. One day when I'm rich, one day when I'm healthy, one day when I am old and frail, or, whatever. Those sort of daydreaming kind of thoughts, those experiences in some far off imagined future, aren't necessarily useful. And I say that with a huge, caveat and grain of salt. When we talk about the one day in the future, we never imagine the things that stay the same. I'll give you an example. One day in the future when I'm rich and famous and whatever else, I don't think that I think about how much different my life is going to be. I often forget to include, I'm still going to need to eat breakfast, or I'm still going to need to exercise every day, or I'm still going to need to, do all the tasks required for daily hygiene. This is a productive lens to use when evaluating your future goals and objectives, because what happens when we daydream is we often decouple from life. We decouple from the concepts, the sort of harsh realities of everyday living. In our dream future, we don't imagine it's going to be raining, or we don't imagine it's going to be hot or cold or what have you. Our dream futures oftentimes neglect reality. And in becoming separate from reality, we also essentially guarantee that they are never going to come. So when we start to do the work, to take the steps required to do the work like we talked about in the last episode, to get from point A to point B, we stop daydreaming about this manufactured, wonderful reality, and we start executing on the steps required to get there. Now, I caveat all of that to say, it's important to have goals. It's important to have dreams and hopes and aspirations. But because they are not envisioned in a real life, they neglect all of the real life constraints required to either overcome or embrace to make that happen. So as you're doing your work, as you are reflecting on where you want to go and how you're going to get there, it makes more sense to lean into what you know you have to do. I know I will need a vocation. I know I will need to perform daily exercise or hygiene. I know I will continue to need to eat, right? Despite, wouldn't it be great if I didn't have to? All of that understanding then allows you to actually use those structural underpinnings of a life to create those aspirational experiences that you're looking to build. So lean into those supporting behaviors. Figure out how you might use those to help you achieve your objectives. And in doing that, your daydreams will become closer and closer and closer to your active reality.
The views represented in this podcast are those of the speaker alone and are not representative of any grand or subordinate lodge.
Hi, Brian here. I wanted to thank you so much for listening to this episode. If you have any suggestions or guidance for further episodes you'd like to see or hear, whatever the case may be, please don't hesitate to reach out to me at amasonswork.com, and we will try and incorporate your suggestions into a future recording. Thanks.
Freemasonry teaches us that the true work is within, a lifelong journey of reflection, discipline, and discovery. At A Mason's Work, we help Masons bring out their best selves through meaningful self-inquiry and symbolic practice. From personal reflection to lodge engagement, we offer tools that turn symbols into action. Visit us at amasonswork.com. The work is within. The time is now.